I want you guys to listen to Grandpa. You know, I believe that we need to respect our elders, and the elders have something to say.
Hey guys, John Robinson here, and I don't want to pass on things that might be misinformation, but, you know, do your own research, because when you hear something repeated often enough, you know the old saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. It's come to my attention that many of our top senators and public officials have dual citizenship with China. Now, I can
Okay, so two things right off the bat. First thing, I hate that mentality. Just because people talk about something a lot doesn't mean that there's necessarily truth to it. People talk about a lot of nonsense a lot, and it could just be shit storying. It could just be complete rumor. It could be the ramblings of a schizophrenic. If we use this mentality, if we bring it to its logical conclusion, all this means is quite literally, if somebody says something enough times to you, then it becomes real. This is how the Russian state media operates. They just will say that Bucha wasn't done by the Russians enough time and put the label fake on real footage from the war. And if they say it enough times, then maybe people will believe it. This is a mentality that would make you believe the most bizarre propaganda. That's the first thing. Second thing, a lot of our politicians having dual citizenship with China. There is not a single person elected in the United States Congress or Senate or State House or State Senate or gubernatorial races or the Supreme Court or anywhere that is a dual citizen between the United States and China. You want to know why and how I know that? Because China doesn't allow dual citizens. So if China doesn't allow dual citizens, there's no such thing as an American politician with a dual citizenship in China, because there's no such thing as a Chinese dual citizen. Could have just Googled this to figure it out. It's not that hard.
understand.
You remember what I just said? You told something enough times, you believe it. That's what happened to this guy. He saw enough people saying dual citizenship with China, our Congress people have, and he just believed it. I remember actually being told a similar lie a year ago when I debated this. I think he's just random groiper that was watching my stream that wanted to call in because I was watching a documentary about Nick Fuentes, and he told me that like 180 American politicians are dual citizens with Israel, which is it was a complete lie, completely made up. It's just supposed to imply some sort of foreign ownership by another country. Fear-mongering, what it is.
If you live in a country that has war, famine, political unrest, persecution of some kind, or you just want to come to a country where there's more opportunity for your children, hey, come on down, baby. We want those type of immigrants because those, like many of my relatives, have fought in the war so that they could hand down this country to our generation. You see, if you leave, you're leaving, we're staying. Very simple. We own it. Now, on the other hand, hearing a rumor that President Biden is in possession of a surrender agreement to hand us over to the Chinese.
That sounds like a very real thing. I'm just imagining Joe Biden discussing it with his staff right now. Lincoln, William Burns, CIA director, Jake Sullivan, Jack. That G guys, not too bad. This Constitution, bunch of malarkey. Sign us over. Why would he even do this? What would be the impetus for him signing over the United States to China? How would that even work? He just goes on TV one day, he's like, "Ni hao, America," or as I'd like to say, the 40th province of China. Like, no, again, I don't want to spread misinformation. Immediately believes the first thing anyone tells him.
Once again, is extremely disturbing, but it's not something we can't deal with, because as long as President Biden understands that he's leaving and those of us that own this country will be staying, and that prick will not be flying there on Air Force One with his whole family and $20 million. No, when he gets there, he can let them make him live like he's made so many of us live. And for now on, just because so many of us were dumbed down by the pubic school system and their misinformation when they changed history.
The pubic school system. The pubic school system. Okay, he's convinced me. I don't know whatever he's going to say. I believe him. The pubic school system. I love that. Also, Joe Biden can only get $20 million for selling out all of America. I would be angry at him, but mostly for underselling the United States.
Into social studies. From now on, all these liberal school teachers just need to understand your job is reading, writing, and arithmetic, and we'll give our children our values. And as long as you understand that, we'll all get along fine. Now, one thing you have to understand, because we suffered at the hands of this school system, a lot of us really don't understand the politics, because if we had...
Dude, we started with Joe Biden, with dual citizen Chinese in Congress. Then it was Joe Biden's going to sign us over to the Chinese. Now it's the pubic school system. And now I think he's complaining about the gays being taught in the school. I mean, he's going topic to topic, man. He's jumping topic to topic. He's got a real expansive, open mind.
Not been socially engineered, but actually been taught the truth about how politicians in America have invaded, caused wars, caused all kinds of problems in other countries to make us so hated. Well, for the profit of these corporations, if they had taught us the truth instead of trying to dumb us down, we wouldn't be in the situation we are now. So we don't really always know what to call a person. Are you a representative, a congressman? Are you a senator? Are you...
Why did he talk? What? We don't always know what to call someone. A senator? A representative? Actually, it's quite easy. Did they get elected to Congress? Then they're representative. Did they get elected to the Senate? Then they're a senator. You can go through it again if he's having trouble.
Your lack of honor in the case of judges. So...
your lack of honor. It's very clever there.
To solve this problem from now on, I think I'll refer to us, the owners of this country, who ain't going to give it up. And it ain't a fucking civil war. No matter what the media tells you, it's a revolutionary war. Now, we're not really fighting each other, even though you think you're making us think that. Oh, no, there's a revolution going on, baby.
You know, that's what every single fighter in a civil war will probably say. You know, the FSA rebels didn't call it a civil war. They just called it a revolution. If you ask them, they'll say they're defending the revolution. You know, the American revolutionaries said that. But, like, every member, like half of the participants of every civil war think they're revolutionaries.
And the fact of the matter is, if you had ever studied history yourself, you'd understand what happens whenever a country oppresses their people this much. So from now on, I'm going to refer to us as the patriots, the citizens, or just plain the human beings. And I'm going to refer to all these politicians and corrupt corporate entities as the cocksuckers. And I think that would be the...
This is a worldview I love, because in his worldview, everyone agrees with him. And it's just a very small cadre of elites that disagree with him. When in reality, it's actually like well over 50% of the country that disagrees with him. And that small cadre of elites he's talking about is actually a lot of people.
Easiest nomenclature I could use to more accurately identifying him. You're the cocksuckers and we're the people. And
okay, guys, we've been officially designated the cocksuckers. Our community is no longer the dildos. We are now the cocksuckers. Okay? Or you're either a dildo or a cocksucker in this community now. Okay? That's it. That's the two options.